Good day, my fellow educators. I am Rose Margin C. Wican, a graduate from Notre Dame University with a degree of Bachelor of Elementary Education, major in General Education. The topic that I will discuss for today is all about the dependent variables and independent variables. When we talk about variables, it is a concept or abstract idea that can be described in measurable terms. That's why in research, this term refers to the measurable characteristics, qualities, traits, or attributes of the particular individual, objects, or situations. For example, age. It can be considered as variable because age can take different values for different people at different times. Kaya nga there are some researchers na need talaga nila malaman yung age ng respondent nila para makuha nila yung gusto nilang results sa research nila. For example, I have a study about effective classroom management strategies of the teacher inside the classroom. So one of my variable there is an age. Kasi mas magaling bang mag-manage ng classroom yung teacher ng edad is 20 to 30 years old? Or mas marami ng nalalamang strategies yung teacher na 30 and above na yung edad. Kaya, one of my variable is age. Isa rin ang age sa variable sa research. We're already done discussing about the variables, and now let's go to the main topic for today, which is the independent variables and the dependent variables. When we talk about independent variables, it is the cause variable or the one who is responsible for the condition that act on something else to bring about changes. From the word independent, meaning it can stand alone. Kaya niyang mabuhay without the other variables. That's why this variable can manipulate, controlled, or change. And malalaman mo na ang isang variable is independent kapag siya yung cause or sanhi ng isang variables. While the dependent variable is also called the outcome variable. It is the result or effect of the changes brought about by the independent variables. From the word dependent, meaning it cannot stand alone. Lagi siyang nag-depend usually kay independent variables. Kaya pag nag-change si independent variable, automatically mag-change din si dependent variables. And malalaman mo kapag ito ay isang dependent variables kapag siya yung effect doon sa isang variables. In short, to understand it easily, pag sinabing independent variable, it is the cause variables, while the dependent variable is the effect variables. Kaya nga, always remember na ang dependent variables always depend on independent variables. And here are some examples of the dependent variables and independent variables. Okay, example number 1. An experimental study of teaching English through direct and traditional method to increase learners' academic performance. So we have 3 variables there, which is the teaching English through direct and teaching English traditional method and the learner's academic performance. Now, what do you think is the dependent variable there? So, the dependent variable there is the learner's academic performance because learner's academic performance depends on the teaching English through direct and teaching English through traditional methods. So, nakadepende yung pagtaas ng learner's academic performance kung ang gagamitin ng isang teacher ay direct or traditional methods in teaching English. So, the dependent variable there is the learner's academic performance, and the independent variable are both teaching English through direct or teaching English through traditional method. Another example, relationship between motivation and students' English learning achievement. So, we have two variables here, the student's English learning achievement and the motivation. So, what do you think is the output here? So, the dependent variable is the student's English learning achievement depends the motivation that the students receive from their teachers. That is our independent variable, the motivation. So, the motivation is our independent variable and the dependent variable is the student's English learning achievements. Learning achievement depends on the motivation. Third example, the impact of using multimedia on students' academic achievement in the College of Education at Cotabato State University. So, we have the dependent and independent variable. The dependent variable is the student's academic achievement, and the independent is the use of multimedia. Meaning to say, students' academic achievement depends on the use of multimedia or the impact on using multimedia. So that is our independent, the multimedia. And the student's academic achievement is our dependent. Okay, last example. The use of manipulatives in teaching fractions to improve 7th graders' math performance. So, the math performance is our dependent variables that depends on the use of manipulatives in teaching fractions. So, yung performance ng bata is nakadepende sa manipulatives na gagamitin ni teacher or doon sa effectiveness ng manipulatives na gagamitin ni teacher or mga gamit or teaching aids sa pagtuturo ng fractions. Thank you for watching my report and I hope that you learned something from it. If you have many questions or queries in your mind, just don't hesitate to contact me and I will answer your question as much as I can. Thank you and God bless.